Greetings, Eric Bakker, naturopath. Thanks for checking out the video. I'm up in Auckland on work at the moment. I'm seeing a few clients up here, a few patients up in Auckland, which is right up the north part of New Zealand. So it's quite dark at the moment. It's winter time, so I've tried to adjust the lighting in the room. Hopefully you guys can pick up on what I'm trying to say with this video. I'm going to do a series of videos this morning on gut inflammation. I often get asked this question from people: what are some of the best foods to eat with an inflamed gut? What should I avoid? What are the signs and symptoms? What's the best treatment? So let's talk a bit about gut inflammation today. This video is going to contain information on some of the best foods to eat for gut inflammation. But what is gut inflammation? I'm not going to go into much in signs and symptoms. I'll talk about that in a minute, but think of inflammation as a necessary response from the body. Inflammation can be like a fire. It can be very positive. It can be very negative. It can give us benefits. It can create us a lot of grief. We can have small fires, which create small damage. We can have big fires, which create big damage. And inflammation is the same. So if you think about a fire in wintertime, which it's here at the moment, you can light a fire and keep warm by the fire. So that's a benefit. But what if the fire gets out of control and then you get too warm? And you get too much heat on that fire? It can really take a whole room and a whole building out completely, can't it? Well, inflammation's the same. When a small amount of inflammation can help repair a cold or a wound, or things like that. But when inflammation gets out of hand, it can take out the entire health of the person. So we want to contain the inflammation, especially inflammation in the gut. So what are some of the best foods to achieve this objective? Let's look at some of those foods. I made a list of different foods here I'm going to go over. So some of my favorite foods would have to be omega-3 fatty acids. You're going to get those from things like salmon or mackerel or herring or albacore tuna. Many different fish species will contain omega-3. So omega-3 is very anti-inflammatory. There are many trials and clinical studies now that prove omega-3 to be one of the most powerful of all the anti-inflammatory agents you can get in your diet. So try and include some of these fatty acids into your diet. If you're a vegan or don't want to eat fish, you could be looking at things like walnuts or chia seeds. You could be looking at flax seeds. Lower level of omega-3, unfortunately, in these sources. And unfortunately, if you look at flax seeds, which a lot of people eat, flax oil or ground up flaxseed, it contains alpha-linoleic acid, which needs to be converted to omega-3. And those conversion pathways are not really good with a lot of people. They can be as low as 1 to 5%. If you're looking at conversion of ALA to DHA, it's 1 to 5%. If you're looking at the conversion of ALA to EPA, the fraction of omega-3, which is a very good anti-inflammatory, it's anywhere between 10, 20, up to 40% with some people. So it's not that great. So fish oil is one of the best sources, or fatty fish. This is a good anti-inflammatory, so I try and recommend people to eat some salmon or oily fish or take fish oil supplements every day to avoid gut inflammation and to reduce it, especially with inflammatory disease. Leafy green veggies. There are so many of these you can eat. There's broccoli, there's spinach, there's celery. There are so many different compounds in leafy greens that help to quell, and reduce inflammation. I mean, you'd be crazy not to eat leafy greens every single day. Some of the best ones, or my favorites, would have to be bok choy or gai lan, or these Chinese vegetables. If we look at bok choy alone, there's over 70 compounds in bok choy that are anti-inflammatory. And they taste delicious. They taste very good. So that's the leafy greens. That's the fish we talked about. Onions and garlic. Many of these allium family vegetables contain quercetin, which is a flavonoid with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Garlic is even more potent. It can be quite strong on the breath, but it's brilliant anti-inflammatory. So again, every day, try and have some onions in your diet, red onions or brown onions or leeks or spring onions, shallots, garlic. These are key anti-inflammatory foods. Pineapple. My good old mate here, Mr. Pineapple. Don't you just love pineapple? Pineapple is such a great food. I got that one. That's an organic pineapple. Cost a few dollars more, but a nice big thick slice of pineapple I like in the morning. So if I have my porridge in the morning, I'll often cut the pineapple up, just have one, big 1.5-inch slice of that, cut it in cubes, and have that with my daily porridge. I try and eat one slice of pineapple every day. So pineapple contains bromelain. Bromelain is a digestive enzyme and anti-inflammatory. Great for gut inflammation, but also good for musculoskeletal inflammation. Bromelain is a beautiful thing to have regularly in your diet to reduce a lot of digestive symptoms. You may have an allergy towards pineapple, and as part of the Candida Crusher protocol, I recommend you be cautious with this particular fruit in one of the stages of the Candida Crusher diet. When you're starting to look at the low allergy diet, you may just want to be careful because there are some people who react to pineapple. But overall, I find it a fantastic fruit to eat. While we're talking about fruits, we should also mention, of course, blueberries with their anthocyanin content. Anthocyanins are a blue or red or purple coloured compound. So anything with blue, red or purple coloration is anti-inflammatory. Red onions, those dark plums that are nearly black, those blue plums, anti-inflammatory. Blueberries would have to be one of the best and well known of all the, like blue kind of foods to eat. So these have a great anti-inflammatory effect, not only on the gut, but on many different parts of the body. Even the eye benefits from some of the compounds in blueberries to reduce inflammation in the eye. But for digestive health, it'd have to be one of the top 5, in my opinion, would be blueberries. So try and eat blueberries on a regular basis. You can eat them with almost every type of condition. I've not seen blueberry allergies yet. So certainly worth putting these into your diet. Or, like me, try and grow some blueberries. Let's look at some other foods here. Another one I like is beets, the beetroot, the red beet. Now, beets are fantastic. They contain incredible amounts of folate and magnesium and manganese and many other minerals. They also contain something called betaine. So betaine is a very important element in the body that converts into various other compounds. And betaine allows the body also to effectively work a cycle called methylation, which reduces inflammation and a lot of chronic disease. So try and have some beet regularly in your diet. It's a great anti-inflammatory compound to eat. Coconut oil. Coconut contains wonderful anti-inflammatory properties as well. So add that one into your diet. Maybe a dessert spoon or a tablespoon per day. Cook with coconut oil. It's a superb oil to include into your diet. And how can we forget, of course, the cultured or fermented foods like kefir and sauerkraut and yogurt. Yogurt is my favorite. I've mentioned often in videos previous to be careful with kefir if you've got a gut problem, because kefir is a ferment and it can make your gut really play up. Yogurt's safer, especially if you pick a good natural organic sour yogurt. You can try coconut yogurt also if you have an issue with milk. So these kind of foods are quite good. Bone broth is another one we could sort of loosely put into this category. Bone broth is fantastic because it provides substances that help to build up the gut health while at the same time reducing inflammation. And of course the spices, turmeric and ginger. So turmeric and ginger are very potent anti-inflammatory compounds. Try and get into the habit of adding these things into your diet fresh on a regular basis. I was at a health food shop yesterday and I was quite impressed with the lovely big basket of fresh turmeric and fresh ginger. Now, you can cook turmeric just like you can ginger. You can grate it, you can chop it fine, you can mix it with garlic as a condiment. So I quite like that earthy flavour of turmeric. Ginger and turmeric are closely related. So really try and make it a habit of adding some fresh turmeric or ginger on a daily basis to your diet. Imagine if you added all these foods into your diet every day, how you could reduce that fire in the belly, reduce that inflammatory aspect. Cherries, tart cherries especially, have been shown to be even more anti-inflammatory than ibuprofen in some clinical trials. And cherries are wonderful. There's a sweet cherry and the tart cherry, but the tart cherry tends to have the more anti-inflammatory property. So I hope that gives you people out there a little bit of an understanding on some of the great foods you can include in your diet if your gut is inflamed. Please watch some of my other videos in this series. I will talk about signs and symptoms of gut inflammation and other key solutions for this problem. Thanks for tuning in.